A warm greeting. Today is Tuesday, October 3, 2023. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. In this video, I will be providing an update related to the forecast for Tropical Storm Philippe, which is currently located just north of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Additionally, in the last part of the video, I will be discussing a new tropical wave that we will be monitoring over the next week because models indicate the possibility of the development of a low-pressure system just west of Africa. Let's now focus on the Eastern Caribbean region, where we have Tropical Storm Philippe, which has weakened significantly and is located about 100 to 125 miles northeast of Puerto Rico. This tropical storm has been generating heavy rainfall over the central and northern Lesser Antilles, causing serious flooding problems. Today, this rainfall has moved to parts of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. Tropical Storm Philippe has continued on a more westward track than anticipated, but it is now approaching the 20 degrees north latitude and will continue its northward path over open Atlantic waters. Nevertheless, the moisture field is quite extensive, especially because the circulation is very weak, which is generating heavy showers across the northeastern Caribbean. The risk of flooding will continue over the next 24 hours. If we take a closer look at the visible satellite image, we can clearly see that the circulation center is extremely weak. This was confirmed by the Hurricane Hunter aircraft when the center was just north of the British Virgin Islands. The circulation is extremely weak, and throughout the day, we have observed it remaining exposed. The area of heaviest rain is displaced to the southeast of the circulation. At least the good news is that the circulation center will continue on a northwest-northward track, and by Wednesday, weather conditions will begin to improve in the northeastern Caribbean. Some tropical storm force winds are affecting the British Virgin Islands, but this wind field will remain northeast and east of Puerto Rico. This afternoon has been quite active in terms of thunderstorms and precipitation in the eastern, southeastern, and southern regions of Puerto Rico, where 2 to 4 inches of rain have been recorded. The rain is expected to continue tonight and early tomorrow. The National Weather Service estimates that an additional 2 to 3 inches of rain can be expected over the next 36 hours through the U.S. Virgin Islands and the eastern part of Puerto Rico. Please exercise caution as the soils are saturated, and any additional rain can lead to new flooding. The forecast for the track of Tropical Storm Philippe has certainly been a great challenge. We have seen a significant margin of error in the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, as well as in the forecasts from the best global models. In fact, just to give you an idea, the average margin of error for the National Hurricane Center's 5-day forecast is approximately 190 miles. However, with Tropical Storm Philippe, the average 5-day error has been about 450 miles. The forecast for Tropical Storm Philippe has been one of the most error-prone forecasts we have seen in recent years. Now that the circulation center is starting to move away from the northeastern Caribbean, the forecast tracks show a continued northward path over the next 4 to 5 days. By Thursday or Friday, it should pass very close to Bermuda as a weak tropical storm. Beyond that, in the long term, it may be of interest to the northeastern United States and parts of Nova Scotia and Canada. At least the good news is that conditions are not favorable for significant strengthening, and intensity models keep it as a tropical storm for the next 4 to 5 days before transitioning into a non-tropical system. Here we have the official bulletin from the National Hurricane Center at 5 p.m. You can see the general northwest-northward track, at least through Friday afternoon, when it passes over or near Bermuda with maximum sustained winds of about 55 miles per hour. Then, over the weekend, it is expected to become a post-tropical cyclone and move over the northeastern United States or the Nova Scotia region in Canada. Tropical Storm Philippe should not pose major problems for Bermuda, the United States, or Canada. With this video, I will conclude the special coverage related to Tropical Storm Philippe. However, before I finish, I wanted to mention that during the next week, we will be monitoring the region west of Africa, where some models indicate the possibility of a new tropical wave developing. Although the probabilities are currently very low, we will be keeping a close eye on how this forecast evolves. As an example, look at the ensemble members of the GFS model, some of which show the development of a low-pressure system in about 6 to 7 days southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. While the ensemble members of the European model also indicate a low-pressure system, they keep it quite weak for at least the next 7 to 9 days. Some operational models also show the possible development of a low-pressure system. For example, the German model has a low-pressure system developing next weekend south of the Cape Verde Islands. The Canadian model shows a low-pressure system developing southwest of the Cape Verde Islands by early next week. The operational GFS model also has a low-pressure system developing southwest of the Cape Verde Islands by the beginning or middle of next week. The UK model shows a low-pressure system southwest of the Cape Verde Islands by early next week. In general, Most of the best global models indicate development, except for the European model. We will be calmly monitoring this forecast over the next few days. Well, with that, I will say goodbye, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.